I have violent diarrhea, cancer, AIDS, diabetes, and a bad ear infection, and a horrible case of eczema. Yes, I said eczema, motherfuckers. Sounds impossible, right? Well, fuck you.
48 minutes of dogs barking. 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 Growl. Growl. 48 minutes of dogs barking. 48 minutes of dogs barking.
Gang,
Gang, gang. Ice cream so good. Ice cream so good. Gang, gang. Gang, gang.
Spicy.
Do you want to do an intro?
Hey, this is 48 Minutes of Dogs Barking. This is Brian. I got Jason here with me.
Ow!
And we also have the foremost Pac-Man expert in St. Louis, Chris Ward.
Hello.
That's right. South Grand Batman himself.
Tower
Grove
Batman.
I'm sorry.
South Grand Batman is very different.
I always get something wrong.
South Grand Batman has a lot of ex-girlfriends he owes money to.
Yes.
And an IROC Z on the front
lawn.
Oh,
no, Pontiac Grand Am.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
South Grand Batman has a laid-back attitude about red lights.
He's definitely been to family court once, if not more than once.
As a spectator.
No. Active participant. Because Linda took the kids, that bitch. Welcome to the program. Like Brian said, it's 48 Minutes of Dogs Barking. It's a Wednesday night in the chalet. We're hanging out. We're doing the thing. We're all drinking non-alcoholic beer, which is like a weird change for me, but it's good for my mentals. So we're gonna go with that. But speaking of mental health, there was a tweet the other day, Brian, Chris, you see this one?
No.
Rotten Tomatoes was at rotten_tomatoes with a 3. Elon Musk is reportedly considering the idea of himself. And then the community notes, of course, readers added context, this is true.
Wow. So everything is working great.
Everything's great.
Yes.
I'm hoping.
Was there a poll attached to this?
There was.
Was there?
There was a poll.
No.
There was a poll.
Okay, because I thought it was just a community note that said this is true. That's fantastic.
No.
Where is this from? Who said this? How? I mean, I see the headline, but is there more context here?
It says via @Dexterto, which is, of course, a tech news website. This is a user shitposting. This is someone just...
Like, is this after he agreed to do a podcast?
No.
He was like, I'm going to kill myself. Why did I do this?
Oh, is that what you're saying? Hey, Chris, you feeling all right there, buddy?
No, I'm just joking.
But you're right.
I swear to God, there was a poll because I think I voted yes in it. I saw there was one of the quickest.
Yeah, it's
things.
a real gray area for me too.
It's like, well, I do want to see the low tax speed run
if
happen.
If any of your friends are struggling with suicidal thoughts, there are hotlines, there are resources.
Yes.
However, if your friend is Elon Musk, don't pick up the phone. Go watch Adventure Time, smoke a bowl. You're doing yourself and everyone else a favor.
Don't answer that door.
Go watch Inside by Bo Burnham and just leave him
I've
on
just been
red.
watching Craig of the Creek and wanting to slip my wrists.
Is that Werner Herzog?
I can't do this. Despite having worked for a South African person, I can't do a South. I go completely Nick Mullen and it just becomes like Australian.
Generic. Yeah.
Boy.
Speaking of weird things on Twitter this week, of course, Donald Trump Jr. just this very morning got hacked. One of the first messages, fuck @Joe Biden, stupid ass N-word.
I did see this.
Yeah? You saw it
this
live?
did pop up in my feed.
I can only imagine.
I was like, good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
It's
on the
7:28 a.m. And what kind of shit do I got to deal with today?
One of the first ones was, I'm sad to announce my father, Donald Trump, has passed away. I will be running for president in 2024. A masterful, a stroke of genius. But I will say that this guy, he's adding Richard Hart,
who's a crypto grifter type person,
and he's adding Aiden Ross, and it's like, oh, this is some 15-year-old dickhead. Yeah.
Well, so someone has hacked Donald Trump Jr.'s account. Now, how many people also think it was him, and the conspiracy is now?
Well, even
he's
his
just
brother
doing
was
this.
like, I don't think he should get his account back. This is too fun. Eric Trump was on record saying, yeah, boy.
This is why it took me so long to watch Succession, because I was like, why would I spend an hour with these people when daily I have to see this?
Yeah,
That's
Twitter
fair.
exists, but
That's fair. Yeah.
But Succession, it's a mastercraft. Where this only sometimes feel like it's a shotgun approach of awfulness.
Yeah, you really never know if you're going to get a good episode or not out of these guys. But here's something that fucking just was impenetrable.
Impenetrable.
Thank you. Emily in Montreal posts, Crumps remains in control of the narrative, and all of Dime Square, in its reaction to his self-cancellation, has turned itself for good into a mere appendage of his autofiction. By ending himself, he has ended Dime Square. This was a suicide bombing.
I don't know any of those words. Is this something I should know?
I understand Dime Square. I understand it's a bunch of like neo-reactionary people who are like, oh, being a Christian is the most punk rock thing you can do.
So
Hey, I went to Cornerstone. Did you go to Cornerstone? I'm not kidding. I went for 4 years. I saw Christian punk rock up close and Christian goth.
Right. Oh,
amazing,
Christian goth.
amazing.
Oh,
Chris, do you remember like alt lit? Like 10, 13 years ago,
boy.
like indie sleaze, like writing,
Alt lit indie sleaze writing.
like
I don't know any of those
shoplifting from,
words.
like
Where am I?
shoplifting from American Apparel. I think that was like Towlen, maybe.
Towlen, yeah.
Yeah.
Were these blogs?
So Dime Square is like indie sleaze. If it moved to New York City, started a podcast, it was like very overt and sometimes very subversively fascist, and then became like a tradcath converted.
You guys are down the hole.
Yeah. This is
I
what
feel
we do every week.
I feel like I'm in a dinghy, and I wandered to this iceberg, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what's this?
What's this? And
So
there's this-
tradcath is short for traditional Catholic.
Okay.
Okay,
So just say bad guys.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, there's
Evil
really no.
beast- no.
yeah.
Okay. Yes, I'm following.
Okay.
Yes.
yeah. So like the main thing about tradcath is like I guess it's like the issue with all people who convert to a different religion.
Yeah.
Is that they care way more about everything than people that grew up in
hardcore.
it.
Especially midlife. I'm always super weird about people who are like in their middle ages become
Yes.
something else, and like in
Yeah.
that way, like with religion.
Born agains.
Because like I know
yeah.
lots of people who grew up like in a like Christian fundamentalist
Sure.
area like I did, and you kind of grow out of it, you know, or you
Yeah.
or you don't, you become president,
Right.
But, or senator.
So,
or whatever
Chris,
the fuck.
when you talk about the religious fundamental area you grew up in, for those of our audience who do not know you by name, like
Oh, no
where
one
would
knows
that be?
Oh, I'm just from Central Illinois.
Central
so that's
Illinois.
the-
Okay,
that's where the
that's-
accent.
yeah.
Oh, so I dated someone who was from Central Illinois, and her family were like quiverful people.
Oh boy.
It was really
Yeah.
She got away, but they
Thank
still
God.
had
Yeah.
like the shackles. She was free of the shackles, but she still had like the chain. If you get what I
Yeah.
mean, like
Oh,
there was a
yeah.
lot of baggage.
Yeah.
And you can never break the chain, as Mick Fleetwood said.
You never break the chain. Yeah, no, it was wild being told what like quiverful was like.
Oh,
years
yeah.
There's some
before the
amazing
druggers.
like. Have you read the book Fantasyland?
I haven't.
It's just about all the crazy sects of a religion, and it's
Okay.
written in a way that's funny.
Yeah.
And
Thank God.
you know,
Yeah.
just in
Otherwise it'd be
Illinois,
depressing.
like the stories you'll hear are pretty amazing.
Mm.
I won't tell one now.
You just have to take my word for it.
That'll be for the second time you're on.
Exactly. So this post, I'm trying to parse it, and I think what I'm seeing here is that there was a guy by the name of Crumps who was very influential in this scene, canceled himself because he admitted to some past wrongdoing, but by doing so, everything kind of revolves around him. And so, because he's done this person, this tweeter,
Now he's
has said that he has ended Dime Square. Dime Square being the movement of weirdo reactionaries turning.
and this is
traditional
not a
Catholic.
Paul Schrader movie.
Well, the reply right below that is from First Reformed.
Okay. Yes, that's what I think that was confusing me. I thought that was part of the news article.
No. This is just a post of someone being like, hey, this happened, and this is why. It is not a news article. Thankfully, we cannot quote them as a news source. But
yeah, and like another bit of like Dime Square fallout is that there is a podcast called Red Scare. The two co-hosts, Dasha and Anna, are tradcath, like, yeah, conservativeness is punk rock, like very much we're like Cumtown and like very, Chapo very Trap House adjacent, and then like they started like interviewing.
They're like true believers.
They've kind of come around, yeah.
That's wild because so at Cornerstone, when it was Christian punk rock and Christian goth and stuff, that was really. Back then, it was an excuse to listen to the kind of music you really wanted to listen to, but it would be cool with your parents. So,
like,
there was even so Marilyn Manson was popular at the time, and there was a Marilyn Manson equivalent who would be like, I swear to God, they had a song where the guy goes, this is 1997.
Yeah.
The digital age has raped us. That was the chorus.
That sounds like a song Marilyn Manson would write now.
We're like, whoa. And then between songs, he goes, all right, everybody, Jesus. Like, it was all an act. So there was something more innocent about that. Like, nobody there, I mean, we were young too, but nobody there was like, yeah, this is the fucking way.
Yeah.
Like, get on board, or...
They weren't hardcore.
It wasn't like that, you know?
The Red Scare chicks have, like, gone to like Alex Jones's compound, like shotguns with him and stuff. And,
whom's among us?
Also, Anna had like this weird like futurist tradcast feminist debate with Grimes.
That was just recently. Yes,
and
it was.
Tim Dillon was like the guest MC or something like that. And I think if you're gonna have like a far right comedian like MC like your weird fucking thing, Tim Dillon's pretty good. Like, he's got like some pretty terrible politics, but unlike most far right comedians,
Hitler had some pretty good jokes.
Well, I'm going to say
he has fun about.
Despite,
I'm going to say that Tim Dillon can at least make me chuckle in between the terrible things that he says. He knows what a joke is. He knows how to write a punchline. A lot of these guys are just hateful, whereas like Tim Dillon at least knows how to make his hate.
He respects the craft.
He's at least he understands what he's doing. He's not a failed screenwriter.
But he's ultimately a failure.
I don't know. Like, he sells out the pageant.
I was gonna say, like,
I mean, is that our metric?
Well, I mean,
considering, I mean, well, I guess since you're a little bit more.
Did they open the balcony?
Oh, that's it. That's the question. Yes, you do have to ask that. That's fair.
Did B&D security hassle his?
Of course they did.
Follows out.
Big
Don't
and dumb,
dance in the aisle.
Big and dumb security always loves to do that stuff. We've talked about them before.
That's incredible. I'm going there tomorrow.
Okay. Where are you seeing tomorrow?
Explosions in the Sky.
Oh, nice.
Delightful.
Nice.
Can't wait. Anyway.
Delightful.
Please continue.
No, that's fine. So Oliver Anthony was a big deal a couple weeks ago, but someone on the TrueAnon subreddit posted this. This is TrueAnon's answer to Oliver Anthony. It is a woman, a white girl with dreads, rapping about healing crystals.
I'm a real bad bitch, cause I got the knowledge. Listen, Abraham Hicks used to be a broke bitch. Now I'm cashing my checks, cause I tapped into collective consciousness. And now I'm flying my aura, yellow it shines. Law of attraction feels so alive. Power up now, it saved my damn life. Sexy Scorpio, I cleanse my crystals in the moonlight. Okay.
So,
I mean, it is her reality.
I'm gonna
can't argue.
I'm gonna state something here. I used to work at a hippy dippy place that sold like incense and Buddhist and
Home
Buddhist
Depot.
and Hindu statues, and people who look like that, always tried to shoplift.
Oh yeah, no question. No, I don't doubt it for a second. Yeah,
I was like, I was always the person who was like, come on, man, don't. I see what you're doing with that pack of incense. Like, please, man.
It's not chumpa. It's like $2. Come on.
Yeah, it was basically.
So
come on,
she's
man.
sitting in is this a car?
It does appear to be. Yeah.
It looks like out the back window there's maybe a cornfield.
Right, and she's
then
got some vines or some weeds
some
hanging
broccoli
down
hanging from the moon
ceiling.
roof.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And then there's somebody in the car with her that kind of peeks in a frame.
Who I want to hit every single time.
You know,
his face.
though, here's a person living her best life.
Yeah, I know.
You know, mostly positive. You know,
I
I don't
know.
understand any of it. But why is this the answer to
Well, I
Olive
think
or
it's
Anthony?
because the gag is that like, oh yeah, you're all about the
I
rich men
see.
north
This
of
is
Richmond.
like dunking on the libs kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of, I guess, but like I don't know.
I mean, we're not making it hard.
No. I mean, look, she was obviously at Burning Man. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, there's
totally.
definitely there's a vibe. Like, she's definitely got more than one tattoo. There's more than one different culture's peace symbol on it.
I'm so glad we didn't have TikTok, for real, because there, but for the grace of,
I know.
someone who knows about computers, go I, because
Yes, I tell my
I
children
would have
this.
been,
Yes.
I'm embarrassed enough about what I've done publicly on the internet and or the radio.
I think about it every week on this show when
Yeah.
when we put it up.
And
so
yet
I'm like,
here we are
Is this
again.
gonna be? Yeah, is this gonna be the time when I'm
So,
gonna say something? Or
I wish her well. I don't know what to say.
you are more than welcome to do so. I just think it's just
It's
ridiculous.
insane.
And
It's unhinged. Is she in Sedona?
she's got to be. There's no other place that she.
Santa Fe. If I had to take a wild guess.
yeah,
Santa Fe.
you think it's
Santa
okay?
Fe.
Santa Fe.
Santa Fe is
The cornfields of Santa Fe.
The breeding ground for this sort of nonsense. So, either of you guys, are you familiar with Plum Corp Records?
No.
Plum Corp Records is one of the places where a internet artist, formerly known as the guy who wears the pink suit, also known as Joji, releases some of his rap music. All right, so this has been floating around for 3 months now, and I've just been getting into it. There are 3 of these. It's called Dracula Flow. Chris, are you familiar with these? You're laughing.
No, but Dracula's so funny to me. Blah. I hope it's what I think it is.
It's even better.
This shit ain't nothing to me, man. That pussy got me screaming, crying, pissing, shitting, shooting ropes.
Okay, I have a question.
Me seeing shit.
Who is exploiting this man? What is happening here? Why is he doing this? And he's reading. He clearly didn't write this.
You saw it. He's reading off a script. Someone has been feeding him lines.
He's in a room with blacked out windows. And he has glasses so he can't blink twice for help.
Exactly.
So there's a lot.
Not only that, but his hairline, you'll notice, is painted on.
Is painted on. I know
a marker.
It feels very bum fights. I don't know. What's happening here? What am I complicit in? Was this made recently? Or these new?
Yeah, these are three or 4 months ago. So they're relatively.
Because it looks like it was shot on a Betamax camera. It looks like a snuff film.
It
does-
It looks like
really.
elder
Yeah,
abuse.
Yeah,
Is this like something you would see on Live Leak in between videos?
Yeah.
In between videos
Yeah.
of people breaking like their wrists skateboarding.
Do not like. Looks like Travis Bickle
First,
was in a nursing home, and this guy gets high at night and makes him do this.
Yeah.
what I thought this was the dude from Tool.
Oh, you thought it was
Yeah.
Because
Maynard?
he does like
A
the
fitting
shit for
punishment.
Yeah. I think this is what they should make the guy from Tool do. Is
Maynard
Dracula
James
Flow.
Keenan, read this script. If you don't look at the screen, it does sound like Bob Reuter.
Oh my
I'm
God.
feeling
Can you hear it?
scratchy.
Yeah,
Feel
I
it?
had to do it to him.
Yeah. I took him out back and
It
made him an
sounds
example.
A little like
I went to Long John Silver's and I spit in their face. I'm off that
Incredible.
loud pack. I'm feeling scratchy.
Ow! And then here comes the Sonics, or whatever.
yes.
So then they posted this one,
Rest in peace.
which is it's just called Michael Phelps Fit Evaluation. And it's a guy.
Oh my god.
I don't even know how to describe this. It's just a dude.
Like a guy that puts up drywall.
Is there a video component to this podcast? Or
No,
Are we just
I'm going to share it in the
Okay, so people can
episode
see
description
what
because
I'm
it's absurd. Like they spray painted his Versace.
they gold spray painted his Versace, his Versace.
Yeah, that's
shoes.
right.
It's pronounced Versace. Thank you.
He's got a Moschino shirt on.
The wave cap.
Yep.
Had to do it to him.
There's a bit where they break the music and he's like, all bricked up.
Independent cinema is alive and well.
Amazing.
On YouTube.com.
Exactly right. Just
And maybe some sort of viral human trafficking. I don't know what that was. He looked like a Sbarro's employee.
Oh God.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Sbarro's at the mall that's about to get shut down.
Yes.
Oh man.
They're still there.
There's only places that sell like nothing but like pink stuff.
Oh, the pink sauce from TikTok.
The pink sauce store at the mall at the Milwaukee Mills.
Yeah, that's one of those things. So another thing we found on Twitter this week was a wrestling promotion that was a bit of an advertisement for a Japanese bullet train company, and it was two guys on the bullet train doing some wrestling, and they're doing
That is one of the weirdest pile drivers I've ever seen. Is he's trying not to break the other guy's neck.
This is a genius promotion.
Oh
yeah.
The Japanese wrestling is beautiful. You can get like the most amazing like hardcore strong style stuff, and then it'll also be like guys wrestling a blow up doll and losing.
Yeah, he's putting him in a chokehold in the middle of the train. They're kind of like checking in with their audience because, like, okay, we're gonna fuck shit up here in a minute.
Can you imagine being on the most efficient transportation in the world, just loving life, and then you get wrestling? Like,
yeah, on top of that,
why are we here? Why do we live here?
And two like Japan Pro like legends.
Oh God, yeah.
Like these aren't just like random dudes. These are like some of the top
I
guys.
assume that was a marketing thing. Which
Oh,
is
absolutely,
really smart.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's.
I would absolutely go to Japan and have fast public transportation and watch like two guys in their mid-40s just beat the shit out of each other. But like it being a cool thing instead of in St. Louis where it's sad because it's a drunk mailman.
Tragic, yeah.
Stand clear of the closing doors.
And then in comes. Oh wait, that's. Koei
Can I get your
Senju's
attention?
music.
Man, I hate the subway. Oh God, I want a fast train.
Yeah,
this is my
I
Tracy
know.
Chapman moment. I want a fast
Absolutely,
train,
absolutely.
with a Japanese wrestler in every aisle.
I think you got to write that one. I think
want
that's.
to be in a marketing video. Okay,
I would. Speaking of videos and other things that are written by professionals, Chris Freeman this week wrote on Twitter, calling strikebreakers scabs is patently dehumanizing. And if your response to this is good, you should probably engage in some self-examination. Now, I know nothing about this man, but I have to assume he's fucking with me. But my immediate thought was also, please don't be mean to strikebreakers.
yes.
Ooh. There's no other way to read that unless you're really thinking like, okay, this guy's irony pilled. He's
Without knowing the account, this could be him taking a piss.
But
the language police.
There are people who think that way. I went to the next tab, and of course, Chris is laughing because he sees Norm Macdonald and he knows there's something coming. And yes, Lauren Boebert found herself in a little bit of hot water. Of course, everyone knows this story. She was at a live musical of Beetlejuice, where she was vaping, carrying on, let her date grab her breasts. She was honking on Bobo, as it were. This here, Mike Beauvais wrote a perfect, because Norm's not around to deliver the joke, but he wrote it in the perfect Norm voice. And here it goes.
Go ahead.
No, Brian, please.
I thought this was piss. This felt like someone they thought they knew what Norm Macdonald sounded like.
Well, maybe I think I know what Norm Macdonald sounds like.
I love this. What's not to love? This is like, at this point, keeping his style alive is like, okay, I'll take it. I can hear it.
Yeah. Lauren Boebert was removed from a performance of Beetlejuice in Denver this week. I can't even do Norm's voice. After she began to vape and engaged in sexual touching with her date. Political observers worry that Boebert is setting a dangerous example for young people by making musicals sound cool as hell.
No. See, you gotta emphasize the last three.
Cool as hell.
Oh.
Cool as hell.
Political observers worry that Boebert is setting a dangerous example for young people by making musicals sound cool as hell.
Oh,
there we go.
There it is.
There we go.
All right.
And then he taps his papers.
Okay. Tap. Yeah.
And then there's a long silence.
And then he goes, Michael Jackson is a file.
You guessed it. Frank Stallone.
Yes.
I was like researching something for my job, and it was a tutorial on another website.
And someone makes the "you guessed it" Frank Stallone joke, and they didn't
in the
understand
middle
it.
of a tutorial about how like hoists work.
and your coworkers are like, "What the fuck why is this funny?"
I was so confused.
Oh man.
I was like, I was here for real practical applied knowledge, in a blue collar trade.
Yeah. And then you get the Frank Stallone jokes.
I kind of like this style. There's also kind of some other things going around with like the Rodney Dangerfield kind of thing.
Yeah.
Too, which occasionally is really funny. And I'm a fan of I'll occasionally do the Johnny Carson one or Jay Leno. Like it's just like you ever have a joke you're so embarrassed by that you're like, I'm gonna throw in
all the time on the show.
Johnny
I do Jay Leno.
Yeah,
about the 50th.
It makes me laugh harder.
Casey Green got the shrinking Jay Leno. Oh my God, I'm getting smaller and smaller. Oh my God.
Bye bye, everybody.
Yeah, his incredible shrinking Jay Leno was wonderful.
One of the greatest one-shot characters in the history of this podcast.
And he just tossed it off. It was extemporaneous. I love it. So Julian Field, co-host of one of the many wonderful podcasts that we're fans of course, that's QAnon Anonymous. He posted, breaking, Lauren Boebert kicked out of theater after falling for popcorn trick.
That's good.
So Catholic girls with
question
Catholic with their tiny little mustache.
That's right.
So that's a reference to the movie Diner.
Well, Diner wasn't the first time that was done.
That predates Diner, but Diner made it in the public pop culture consciousness.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And at this point, I was wondering if anyone remembered this because I thought
I love Diner. Diner's a great one.
But do kids know what the popcorn trick is?
Based on my preliminary search on Pornhub, yeah, they do.
Really? There's a popcorn? Of course there is. Of course.
We started them off with the big sausage pizza.
Yep, and then
we took them back to the roots.
Yeah, you kind of.
Wow. So.
Imagine explaining this to someone under like a certain age. It's gonna be like you went to a place, you put your cock through a hole in the bottom of a popcorn bucket.
Trick your date into touching it, and then
then you get a buttery H. You get a handy J that's all buttered up.
The buttery H.
Is this got to be like an urban legend thing, right? Is there historical proof?
I worked with a guy at Guitar Center who told us a story one time.
Always a great source of information. The guy at Guitar Center.
He worked in the warehouse and he would go drink whiskey in the bathroom before returning to work. It was a bad scene, but he was telling me and our boss about how he was getting hot and heated with his lover in the garage, and he wanted to fuck her in the ass. So and he realized there wasn't any lube, and it was a real they're really in the moment. So they used brake fluid.
Oh.
Which, in case you don't know, brake fluid has little bits of metal in it.
Yeah.
That's highly toxic. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad news.
It's real bad.
And did the little kid buy the guitar while he was telling this story within earshot?
No, this was actually in the back of the building where it was just the three of us. And it was like one of those things where me and my boss are looking at each other like we should probably take this story to our grave. But yet, the only reason I'm telling this because he told it in the public sphere, because one of the guys that worked in the drum department, his wife worked in radio, and she worked for some morning zoo, and so he went on the morning zoo to tell the story about the brake fluid, anal fucking.
That's terrifying.
It is terrifying. Ala Liker on Twitter, aka the Vascular Dude. Tweeted two things I think are very relevant to this, which is. Honestly, the only reason anyone would go to see musical theater is the possibility of getting cranked off. Following up with, every man agreeing to go to a musical ever, maybe I'll get a little cranked off.
You know what?
And to be fair, I think every time I've ever gone to musical theater, I'd be like, it'd be kind of cool if I came tonight.
Yeah.
I regret not cranking off when I was in theater underneath the stage because I had a job when I was a freshman. I had a big plywood board that I would shake and it would go,
yeah,
and it would sound like thunder, right?
Yeah.
So for 2 scenes in the play, but I had to stay down there the whole play, so I just sat because there were no phones.
Yeah.
And I sat in the darkness.
And that would have been a perfect time.
And not once did I think I'm going to crank it down here.
Really? Because as a teenager, that's probably would have been my first thought.
I was literally shaking wood with my hands. And not once did I think, what? Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and do the popcorn trick on myself.
Does it count if it's yourself?
No, I did my job.
Yeah.
I was union freshman theater.
Your cum rag is the Ralphie sweater from A Christmas Story.
I earned the name Freshman Thunder for that. Which is the most wholesome
nickname
you can earn.
Instead of Floor Dweller.
Freshman crank.
Freshman crank.
All 4 years.
What's up, Freshy Crank?
Crank
What's up,
man.
Fresh
The
Crank?
crankster.
Yeah, he cranked it under the stage.
Yeah.
Blew it all over the
During
fucking
Fiddler.
the Ralphie sweater from Christmas Story last year. Someone's like cracking on the edge of a table like an icicle.
If I were to jack off, no. All right, sorry. It's the only song I know from Fiddler. Is If I Was a Rich Man.
Oh, I know them all.
Anyway, I'm sure you do. Zandy with a Z, one of my favorite Twitter people, is God, I wish we had the old Twitter right now. People gleefully reacting to Lauren Boebert jacking a guy off while watching a family musical is what the old Twitter was made for, and that's absolutely correct.
You know what my biggest problem with all this is?
Yeah.
For real?
What?
Is that Beetlejuice is a family musical.
That's still strange to me. Yeah.
You know, I guess the Universal Studios thing set the precedent for a lot of, and the cartoon. So yeah, it's been like that for a while. I sound like an old fucking.
But also in the movie, he grabs his own dick and goes, "Nice fucking model."
Honk honk. That was what I said the other day. My friend Matt, Beetlejuice came out on VHS, and he came to daycare and waltzed through It's a Small World daycare. And goes, nice fucking model, honk honk, and then we all start doing it. So imagine like a daycare full of little kids walking around going, nice fucking model, honk honk, and we all got put in the worst timeout. I think like a record timeout.
I learned all my cuss words from my brother playing the first Snoop Dogg record around me while he was computer programming.
Of all the ways to listen to a Snoop Dogg record about computer programming.
Yes, I specifically remember hearing the song "Sexy." Is it called "Sexy Motherfucker"? Like the woman, there's a woman saying "You sexy motherfucker" or something like that, in a very sexy way, of course. And like watching my brother play like "Day of the Tentacle."
That better not have awakened anything in you. Yeah.
No, I just like repeated it to like a second grade classmate and got in a lot of trouble.
I called everyone in third grade. I started calling slut.
Oh no!
I said, I don't know where I picked this up, but I was like, "You're a slut. You're a slut," and boys too. Mm-hmm. Jake, you're a slut. Ryan, you're a slut. Had no idea what it meant. Yeah. And I got in trouble, and the teacher said, send me home or whatever. And my mom was so mad, and I'm like getting yelled at, and I go, "Mom, I don't know what slut means."
Right.
I felt, and she goes, "It's a woman who breaks up families."
Oh.
And I don't ever want to hear you use it again. And I was like, fair enough. The end. I never called anyone a slut. Ever again.
I'm trying to think, was there a Saturday Night Live bit where it was like, Jane, you ignorant slut?
Yeah. It could have been.
Because that's the kind of thing that like.
But we didn't have Comedy Central because it was banned in our town. That's how small it was. So I must have I must have picked it up
Footloose
from
ass growing up.
Footloose for comedy.
Is that a Mitch Hedberg record? You're going to jail, brother.
The Playboys you find in the woods or the taser scratched out.
Is it Paula Poundstone HBO special? Yeah.
It was.
That's what I had.
The porno's called Poking at You. Yeah.
Saw a parking space that don't even think about parking there. I said, I'm thinking about it. I watched them all.
I have too. So. It's time for the next segment of the show. It's called Crypto Scam of the Week.
You're listening to 48 Minutes of Dogs Barking, the podcast.
And now it's time for the Crypto Scam of the Week.
Guess what it's about, Chris?
Is it about Mark Cuban on how he lost $870,000?
It is.
$1,000.
It is.
Crypto. Was this recently? I thought this was all done.
This was this week.
Y'all
this
still
was
doing this?
This was Monday.
This was Monday.
I thought this was all done.
No, thankfully
God.
For this segment
I feel
of
like
the show.
Casey Kasem. Yeah. I thought we were all done. Ponderous, man. Fucking ponderous.
Mark Cuban, our least favorite of the sharks on Shark Tank, got in a little bit of hot water. Also, obviously, owner of the Dallas Mavericks, but that's not important. Courtesy of DL News, he fell victim to a hack on Friday. This would be Friday of last week. He lost around $870,000. So, Woz Crypto spotted this.
It was Mr. Wonderful.
He's fucking me. So, the sudden movements in a wallet marked on Blockchain Explorer Etherscan as Mark Cuban 2 were first spotted by Woz Crypto. Cuban was unaware until DL News reached out.
The cops are on their way now.
Yeah, the perfect timing of the South City Sirens. We heard you got Mark Cuban in there.
Fucking shoot.
So Cuban tells DL News, I went on MetaMask for the first time in months. They must have been watching. His losses extended beyond 5 Ether, worth about 9,000 at current prices. Altogether, set back 870,000 across 10 different cryptocurrencies. Lido, Ether, Super Rare, Ethereum, all that shit. And of course, Cuban saying, I'm pretty sure I downloaded a version of MetaMask with some shit in it.
Hearing all that and reading that is like the closest I'll ever get to being Doc Brown and getting into the DeLorean and going to the future and not knowing what the fuck is happening. My question is, who's this news story for? Why is this the news? And who is this for? And to him, isn't that like a drop in the bucket? Didn't he buy crypto just for his kid to learn this? So why? This is nothing to him, right?
Oh yeah,
I think it's meant. So this news story
it's a rounding error at the Mark Cuban kitchenette.
In the crypto spaces, it's one of those things where if you are going to warn people about, hey, don't click on some random MetaMask shit, right? Which is this program that deals with NFTs. Don't.
If I knew I was going to be on a chalet on a Wednesday, what night is this? Wednesday night. Yeah. Having crypto explained to me.
While the sirens.
While we're drinking non-alcoholic beer. Yeah.
Drinking non-alcoholic beer.
I will start to re-examine.
Yeah, your life choices.
All our life choices. Yeah.
Yes.
MetaMask is just like
it's a platform, I'm assuming?
Software that allows you to interact with a crypto wallet.
Do you I cashed out everything. Do you guys have skin in this game? I
Very
do not.
Little.
I have like 420 Doge.
Oh, that's good though. That's just
that's
like having pogs now.
Yeah.
They just you gotta have. Hey, remember?
Yeah.
And you pull it out at a party.
This kind of follows a wave of other things though. Like we talked about last week, the founder of Ethereum got compromised the day after. So I mean, this is one of those things where it's like, hey, you're not immune, even though you're a big deal in the space, especially if you fucking co-founded the thing. So I think the news story.
It's so many questions. What? I'm just.
Go ahead.
I can't. I don't even know where to start. This keeps happening.
Yes.
So why is anyone doing any of this ever? Because it keeps happening.
Because they think they're going to get rich quick.
Yeah.
Right.
But also, I don't want to know because I know it involves the blockchain.
Yeah.
So one of the weird things about crypto is that you have all these people that champion, the fact that it can be very anonymous or pseudonymous, and
they have a utopian view of how things.
Yes.
So how is this different from the tradcath people? Are they true believers of a different kind of thing?
There are some real true believers.
There's crossover for sure.
This is wild.
The whole thing is when you don't have anything that's regulated and you don't have nothing's backed like a bank. It really is the fucking Wild West of finance,
which is exciting.
It could be interesting. There's people that have interesting ideas and there are interesting personalities that are attracted to it, but there's also a high capacity for human suffering and
yes. And Mark Cuban getting his piggy bank emptied.
That one I think is just funny.
Which is fine.
I think it's okay if people take money from Mark Cuban. I don't have a problem with that. I think when it's some guy that works an office job he hates and he's just trying to make his life a little bit better, and nothing else is work.
If the invention of the abacus led to Mark Cuban having a shitty Monday morning,
we'll take it.
Thank you.
Okay, that works.
What else do you want?
Yeah, that's fair.
Things that would get me a visit from the triple from
I was gonna say
I'll take that one.
Yeah, I understand exactly what you mean. We are on the same brain space. But if
I am not in the same brain space.
If I said what I thought, we would get banned off of every platform. It's fine. Anyway, so that is Crypto Scam of the Week. Now we on to our main topic this week, which is, of course, the reason why you're here, Chris.
That's right. I forgot. I really did forget for a second.
You did forget?
I was like, why am I here?
Yeah. For the laughs, for the camaraderie, for the non-alcoholic beer. I don't know.
The venison.
The venison, that's true. There is some deer sausage. You want to go grab some of that.
And the chalet.
Where else would you have venison but
Broken Pizza Hut?
Indeed, we are talking about Broken Pizza Hut.
The sawdust and venison pizza.
Handmade.
Handmade.
So we mentioned this briefly in a previous episode where you had kind of come out as sole proprietor, I guess, of Broken Pizza Hut.
Yes. Oh, and thank you for the kind words, by the way. I listened to the podcast, and it was like really good.
Yeah.
And I was like, thanks. I don't know. It was very nice.
Yeah.
So in case you missed it, we did talk about this in a previous episode, but it is a... So here's just one post from the Twitter feed that I picked out at random. It's $19.99, and you just filled out your bucket slip. You order a cherry Pepsi, but then your stepdad walks in, or should we say storms in, and that's his Dodge Mercury you drove here, and you're 12. And you, my friend, are fucked.
This was kind of a take on... There was a little meme going around that was sort of set up like this.
Yeah.
And I just fucking did
Just
whatever.
went to
But
town,
I was
yeah.
bored, I guess. I don't remember. You reading that reminded me that this one guy who does like voiceovers, just randomly started reading these and like posting them himself.
Yeah, that's a guy named Jake, who's a friend of the program. Yeah, he's.
It was incredible.
Yeah, he's kind of been
Tell
on the
him
game
thank
for a while.
you. I gotta find those.
He went and did a couple of Jack in the Box ads. I mean, he's all over the place. Yeah.
Wow, I was so flattered. That was like one of the only times, because I just did this for fun. Like I was filming dance competitions with my friend Brian, who's now married to my ex-wife.
Oh my.
Which is like my favorite thing to say. People are like, I don't know what to do with that information.
Yeah. What are you gonna do with it?
But it's like no, they're like wonderful. And but at that time we were filming dance competitions around the country, and it was kind of a low point in my life. You know, what we would do is film the dancing. Brian would, and he would come back with a memory card and give it to me, and I would put it in a computer and burn a routine.
Okay.
And then the parents could buy. These dance routines.
Okay.
And he would always come back walking in the lobby with a look on his face like PTSD. Because it was like 8-year-olds doing Kesha and stuff all day. And he'd be like, card full. He'd just say, card full. And hand it to me. And I would burn. And what we didn't realize is how slow DVD burning was.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was,
at that time,
we're talking
especially.
15 plus years ago,
2X.
the Obama days, the slow DVD burn days, and dance moms were angry.
Yeah.
Where's my DVD? And we were in New Jersey, and we didn't know there were in Apple stores. And I said, it's coming to you. So what inevitably we would do is make a lot of empty promises and go home and make them and mail them out.
Oh, man.
It was a whole racket. Anyway, I had a lot of downtime, and I was on Twitter for the first time, and I was really like tickled by the idea of my favorite place in the world, which is old school sit-down Pizza Huts.
Yes.
Because they evoke such a powerful nostalgia with me. My dad would, the first time I had beer was like a flat Bud Light in Havana, Illinois. And he goes, I was like, I want to taste that. And he's like, here. And I did. And I'm like, yuck. And he's like, remember that. And I did for exactly 5 more years. But, you know, that's where my Pac-Man obsession began. But I saw them kind of crumbling around us. And, like, the idea of the worst version of that and, like, what I didn't know, because I hadn't seen it yet, but would be like a Twin Peaks Black Lodge situation where it's like there's this place and, you know, I don't know what else to say about it. Do you have? I'm just rambling.
No. I just love to hear you talking about it because there is a real love for this very specific aesthetic. There's like a wood paneling. You know, this photo that you attached here is very evocative because there's those.
It's
those
the red tape. It's
lamps.
the red glasses for sure, and the glasses used to get with Care Bears on them, and the checker cloth, the tablecloth.
Oh yeah,
the weird little dirty child's seat with the gross plastic puppet on it that's made from like the same gloves they use in the kitchen.
Yeah,
it's the jukebox that starts up inappropriately when it's quiet and your family's been having a little bit of a fight at the table. A little bit of a fight because guess what dad wants? Supreme pizza.
Yeah.
Guess what little kids don't like?
Yeah.
Anything on a fucking, and they go pick it off. And then it's just quiet. And then the jukebox kicks on like In My Eyes.
Yeah. It's
Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
Or Live Throwing Copper.
Something.
And it's
inappropriate.
Holy Diver.
Holy Diver. And you're trying to constantly grift your parents for quarters. Anyway, it was fun to world build and do this anonymously because it just was fun.
Yeah.
But then there's 3 little phases of this, which is early on, I just did whatever.
Yeah.
But I had a certain idea of like what this was going to be. Like
there was
unrepentantly shitty.
Yeah.
Like no fucking refunds.
Yes, that is a recurring theme. Yeah.
Like the service is shit. What do you want? How about a fucking pepperoni pizza, you piece of shit? Like things like that. And then like edging into horror.
Oh yeah.
About things skittering under the salad bar. And and then a few friends, you especially, and Stryker Spurlock,
yes,
and some people early were like, we like this, it's like cracking our shit up.
Oh yeah.
So I only ever did this for 4 or 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I do anything like that for.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see it get a little bigger, like on Facebook, until they shut it down. Just that was the impetus to say, okay, this was me. And I had no reason to not say it, except I just wanted to say it's kind of over.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to put a button on it, and I kind of was like, should I do something? Like, but also want this to be lazy. I never want it to be work.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel like it.
Well, no, I mean, it's a passion project. So yeah, I mean, you don't want to have it feel like it's a burden on you.
But I wanted to acknowledge, honor that time and be like, okay, and there were 2 reasons. Is because I couldn't say who I was, because later in life, after running this for a long, long, long time, I got a job at a marketing agency where I did end up on the Pizza Hut corporate account. Yeah. And I was young and I was switching careers from KDHX.
Yeah.
And I was terrified already I was going to lose my job because I was kind of faking it until I made it.
Sure.
And I'm like on Pizza Hut, and I'm like, if they find this, if they trace this back to me, I'm out. I'm
a dead man.
So it was the worst version of Breaking Bad, which is like,
they can't let me know I'm making jokes about like fucking someone's stepmom at Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut corporate did block this account.
Oh, I'm
did
sure.
block it.
Yeah,
so they did see it. And I know that they see it because I know there are interns everywhere that monitor these things for PR agencies. These are all things I learned working on the other side of this and writing tweets for Book It one day and then going home and being like, our waitress is a fucking whore or whatever it was.
Local stuntman was fucking your mom, Like
fucking Eddie Guns.
Eddie
Professional skydiver Eddie Guns.
Skydiver, that's what it was.
So that leads me quickly to say the last part of this, which is that I will get a little serious, but I think it's got a really beautiful tie-in, which is I have a good friend whose daughter, he's from here in St. Louis. His daughter was born with a very rare skin disease called epidermis bullosa.
Yes.
And it's where they call it butterfly skin, and it's where your skin doesn't have the glue to keep it on your body, so she's bandaged all the time.
Right.
Their insurance is like $25,000 a week for like what she needs. It's insane. It's rare, so it doesn't get a lot of attention.
Right.
And in his life, he has to be an advocate, a nurse, a father,
right,
a husband, a breadwinner at work, and all these things. That said, we have this constant meme back channel, and that's where we're dark. He's making jokes, dark jokes.
Yeah.
Because he has no other outlet for that.
Yeah. Where else you going to do that at the hospiel?
No. Yeah. Because he has to be the face, So he would start sending me stuff that was so fucking funny. I was like crying. And Eddie Guns is one of those. I believe Smoke Dog and Smoke Dog is his. All that's Jason. That's all him. He would send them to me. I would edit them ever so gently. Like I would kind of sometimes say, well, it would maybe be kind of more like this.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoyed. And I would say, how about this? And he's like, great. And then I'd send it into the world. And he's not on Twitter, and he wasn't on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I'd send it out, and occasionally one would take off, and I would screenshot it, and I would send it to him, and I'd go, we've got a heater.
Yeah, this kills.
And he would get so excited, and I'd say, this post is taken off. And it brought me so much joy to post these and see them whatever, and then tell him, hey, that was fucking hilarious. That was great.
That's great.
And then we were sort of doing it in tandem for a long time, and then we just sort of got bored after a while.
Sure.
But that was like the big thing I got out of it, which was like, it allowed him an outlet to be really dark and weird and scatological. And I think that was really good therapy, actually.
Oh, I imagine so. Yeah.
And it certainly was for me, I know that isn't the most hilarious fucking thing in the world.
Well, but if it's real, it's important too.
That was sort of why I loved it. And also, I wanted to do a coffee table book of this.
Yeah, we were talking
I still
about
might.
that. Okay.
Because years and years and years ago, Darren Snow, KDHX DJ, was loving this, and I would tell him, "Hey, it's me," and he's like, "What?" And I said, "Hey, in your travels," because he travels around everywhere and takes photos. He would occasionally send me a broken Pizza Hut that he had, like a good photo of like the lights behind it weird, the weeds are everywhere, the roof's falling in, and I'm like, "Hey, can you, if you see these on your travels, will you?"
Yeah, send
and
them to
he
me.
has been sending me these for
Wonderful.
years,
Oh,
I have some, because for copyright reasons.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't even know if I can do what I'm doing. But like, who gives a shit?
Mm-hmm.
You see who the president was? Just do it.
Just
Just put it out in the world. Who's going to
Yeah.
stop my small publishing? My 50 copies.
Yeah. Nobody
Who?
cares.
My ex-employer, Pizza Hut.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we might do something fun.
That'd
I
be
don't
great.
know. We'll
I
see.
think that'd be great.
Yeah. So even if it's just like a PDF and like, here, you print this.
Well, it's weird because this has been around for so many years, like a decade or something. I don't remember writing most of them.
Yeah.
Like most of the things I've written in my life, it's a disposable medium. So it's comic books, magazines, Twitter. All these are disposable mediums. So
I still have the comic book, by the way. I've told you this.
Yeah. Well, it's good bathroom reading.
So, Chris, during your tenure writing comic books, the one that I remember because it actually has you in it is the one where you're
the Barack Obama.
It was the Barack Obama
biography.
Comic book, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't get ridden out on a rail when I wrote that the way I would now.
Yeah, because of pronouns or whatever. Yeah.
No, that was a great freelance job.
Okay, I tell you, I got this comic before I knew who you were. Like before we had met.
It outsold the Sonic the Hedgehog comic that month, and it outsold a Batman comic that month.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It did. I saw the thing. Yeah.
You know what? And I still don't know what this is.
Okay, so real quickly as an aside, and this kind of overlaps. I got a freelance job when I was a freelance writer. I was working at a hospital. This is pre-dance filming competition.
Yeah.
I'm working at a hospital and I'm freelancing, and I get an opportunity to write political comic books, and I'm like, this sounds horrible. And I said, what can I do? And the guy said, well, we have Colin Powell. And I said, you got anybody else?
I mean, now we know about Colin Powell, like it's really right, because he ended up being a pretty terrible and cowardly human being.
Yeah. But this was right around the time Obama had announced he was going to be president.
I'm done doing cocaine and getting sucked off.
And I lived in Springfield, Illinois, where it happened.
Yeah.
And I said, could I do Barack Obama? And he's like, sure, whatever. And so, because I said, I got this story because I'm in Springfield, and it's me and the ghost of Abraham Lincoln. So it's like me, like Harvey Pekar, but it's the ghost of Abraham Lincoln.
I got it.
And it's the story of Barack Obama's rise. And I read all these books and I researched it. And my artist was from South Africa. We never met. And he painted it.
Oh, wow.
It's beautifully painted. We found out later we each got paid $200 for all this.
Oh, no.
It sold thousands of copies.
Yeah,
they continue to print it.
Oh, really?
They put it in a collection. If you look on Amazon, I look up my name every once in a while, and there's
You're credited at least.
It's in a new graphic novel, and sure, that's in my contract that I get digital whatever in perpetuity, but this was
like
there
5 cents
on computer paper in 2000 whatever. None of this means anything. And so I bought a ton of copies myself and sold them at my hometown homecoming.
Okay.
And made like a couple grand.
Okay.
And then I did Condoleezza Rice, which not as successful.
Not as successful, no. A lot harder, I'd imagine.
A lot tougher.
Did Gaddafi have a cameo?
No, didn't make the cut.
Oh, my darling Condi.
But Joe the Plumber's in it.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And
that's
Jim
true.
Morrison's in there because it's,
I'd forgotten that.
I wrote it for kids, and it's like they're not going to care about any of this. So I would put weird. I would make it weird.
Yeah, because there was that whole bit in the Barack Obama comic where you're in a diner and in
a diner. It was just ridiculous. But that was like a grinding out freelance bucks. Like,
sure.
Disposable mediums. That's
fair.
Comic books are meant to be rolled up and put in someone's back pocket, and that was a really great fucking writer told me that. And I was like, why are you telling me that shit? That's crazy.
Well, I
Your
mean,
shit is amazing. And he's like, no. I'm like, okay. But so to look back and see this stuff is like, some of them make me laugh and some of them I'm like, oh, that's terrible. Or
right. Or was
it's
that
weird.
me? Did
It's
I
weird to
write that?
see
Yeah.
it and detach from like remembering any of it.
Yeah.
Which is better in a way because I want it to
guess.
be like it's just coming from someplace, like some weird dimension.
some alternate universe where
Some hellmouth.
Yeah.
P zone.
The P zone.
Anyway, I went on and on.
No, it's great.
We love when a creator kind of waxes rhapsodic because that to me tells me that there's a craft and a love involved. So I'm good with that.
I'll say this: I give a shit about it.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be a certain way, and I would get mad when I saw Nihilist Arby's, and I was like, "This guy's phoning it in. This guy's phoning it in."
And it ended up being a dude from Lawrence Arms.
Yes.
You're just like,
yeah.
So I don't know him. I don't know his music or whatever. It's not my thing or whatever. But I was more annoyed at like. Well, there's always that thing of like, I was doing this for already.
Isn't Lawrence Arms the band that was like basically like Operation Ivy for the radio?
I remember them seeing their sticker on stuff, and I have friends who have those T-shirts.
Lawrence Arms was
but
kind
that's
of
all I know.
Was kind of a they came up in the same scene as Alkaline Trio.
Oh wait, was Kamen Rider the
who I
band
opened
with-
for once?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Kamen Rider? Yeah, I
these
think
bad
so.
these bad early aughts like Plea for Peace bands.
Yeah.
They all kind of
Plea for Peace. Oh shit.
Or like Volcom stuff. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
they all kind of meld together into one Chuck Taylor that smells like piss and cum.
I think the only other one that really stuck out at that time was Bayside, but it was basically because Bayside was Alkaline Trio, but from New Jersey. That was it. It was like, oh, we're doing the same thing, but hey, we're from Jersey, so.
But what I was doing is nothing different from I'm taking, it's all stolen on some, either the
Right.
tone or whatever. It's weird Twitter. It's it's a novelty account. I just did it because it was fun in that way. But there's a precedent for these things, so he's not. It's just the way he would do it. I would be like
phoning it the fuck in.
I don't know,
is what
man.
There were many times I would see Nihilist Arby's and be like, this fucking sucks. But there were so many times I would see Broken Pizza Hut show up in my Facebook feed and be like, this is the funniest thing I've seen in 2 months.
It's a matter of quality, I think, because there's something to be said about it.
That's right, Lawrence Arms.
A finely written joke. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Lawrence Arms.
Calling you out,
I
Lawrence
do.
Arms. Come to St. Louis in the next 3 to 5 years if you want to ask Kiss King.
Yeah, that's right.
Celebrity Deathmatch.
That's right. But it's just me and the guy from Lawrence Arms.
That's right. So 2 non-celebrities.
Yeah, pretty much.
just in a bum fight.
Death match, really? Yeah, bum fight.
There were 2 bum fights with Lawrence Arms.
Yeah, apparently.
In front, we're gonna have Jim Utz be like the referee.
Jesus.
I don't remember this. Saw footage of delivery driver Randy inside the Capitol last Wednesday. He was humping the bust of Rutherford P. Hayes. Now it's a whole thing. I think that's Jason.
I would imagine. It just the phrasing of humping the bust of Rutherford B. Hayes is just so emblematic. It's
Rutherford B. Hayes is not one I would have done because that's a specific. It gets into many specifics.
It's just one of those things where it's just like it's there.
One rule we started to break was like we were gonna not be reactionary to anything on Twitter, so we weren't gonna try to get in on the newest joke or meme or whatever or news event.
How did that work out?
We broke that toward this last half some. Even that thing you showed me at the beginning was like a reaction to a Pizza Hut meme going around because people messaged me like, you got to put something up, man.
Oh.
And I was like, do I? Like, I don't.
Do I? Yeah.
I like that it
Is it
existed
funny?
in its own, like, oblivious to that stuff because then it becomes part of that.
Yeah.
And I did want it to be like this, what the fuck's out there? Like, who's doing this?
Yeah.
Why? I get deep about the old internet. I don't know. That's why I like what you guys are doing because I'm like, I remember.
Yeah. You start to feel like this, like,
hey, to a point.
Yeah.
Like up to a point.
Like, hey, that was a thing. I was there. Yeah. That's definitely the vibe of the show.
I was there being lonely
Yeah.
and laughing on the internet with my friends.
Well, speaking of laughing on the internet with your friends, it's the segment of the show that I always feel like I'm gonna alienate friends and lose the audience. It's shock.jpg, everybody.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Shock.jpg.
This week's shock.jpg is called Clown Song. Brian, Chris.
Get your mic up to your face there, Chris. You're gonna.
You're gonna.
Yeah, well, you
You're
sure
about
are
to.
after this.
Is this on
sounded like a
KDHX?
threat.
Is this Cal? This is a.
It's
Oh
called Clown
no!
Oh,
Is that Bob Royer?
And it is the clown song from Pee Wee's Big Adventure, by the way.
I would love to see a cat looking in your garage window right now. So you've now put me in a chalet and subjected me to a Goatsy video.
Well, now this is not Goatsy. You'll notice that he does not have the ring. So, and then it just loops like
Wow.
that. So, so it is. It's a short video of a gentleman in the bathtub stretching his anus.
How many Sharpies do you think he could fit in there?
The whole pack. The 12-pack.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. Possibly, I'm guessing he's a middle-aged guy. He's kind of average build, really. I mean, it's just like this random-ass white guy. And he's bent over naked, and he is stretching his anus and screaming about it. And then you can hear the clown music, like I said, from Pee-wee's Big Adventure played over the top of it extremely loud.
Yeah,
And
he's grunting. Our favorite Shock.Dapex sound is the
Oh yeah. Oh.
So in the same year I was writing the Barack Obama comic book biography, there was a man in a bathtub gaping his asshole
Oh yeah, that does say that
to
was
a clown song.
That was 2008. You're
It's
right.
like for the flap of a butterfly.
Let me be clear. That was not me in the bathtub stretching out my anus.
No ring. It's not Goatsy.
It's not me.
Let me be clear.
It's not me. It's not the goat man. I can tell you that much.
So yeah, a Goatsy video, great point of reference because yeah, it is. It's a guy stretching his asshole.
Not even in college did I seek out the very dark corners of the internet.
Well, see, that's the thing is that you don't necessarily have to seek them out. That's
because most of the time it was your friend
You
or
don't have to
frenemy
seek them out. They will be placed at your feet on a high projection screen
in a chalet.
In a chalet.
well in the days of web forums, especially, someone would post a blind link. And you would get hit by something like this, or Goatsy, or Tub Girl, or one of the classics.
Whitehouse.com.
Whitehouse.com.
Yeah.
Classic.
Lemon Party.
Lemon Party, yes, exactly.
T-shirt hell.
Have we done T-shirt hell yet?
I don't think we have.
Oh, no.
Future episode. Because we just did badmovies.org, and I love that one. But,
yeah.
But yeah, so there was...
Was there a You're the Man Now dog of this?
I'm sure there was.
I'm sure.
If it
seemed
existed,
perfect for
there's
that.
a You're the Man
It seemed
Now dog.
like that.
But Chris, the show a frame of reference of how you didn't seek this stuff out. I very distinctly remember having a friend in middle school with a shirt that just said goatsy.cx on it. And there was a class we had together where I guess a teacher was bored and just entered the URL on his shirt.
Oh yeah.
And she was very upset.
Serves her right.
Yeah, I guess. I
Yeah,
mean, early days of the
and his
internet,
parents couldn't get too mad because he was like a straight A student, like fucking loved Linux and playing stand-up bass. Like he's like an engineer now. Like he's a very smart and successful person. But he was also this kind of like one of those people that would like tell you things like, you know, Thomas Jefferson was an atheist. You know?
Yeah, in the middle of a party.
Yeah,
Like,
totally. Was going bald before he even graduated, kind of guy.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, well, the last time I saw him, he looked like an old-timey muscle man. Big mustache, and he like started working out because there was nothing else to do in Rolla.
Yeah.
Like besides like
There was a big water slide in Rolla.
Yeah,
I know
That's
that.
it.
I think all my friends that went to Rolla was basically like there was two things to do: was get shit-faced at the grotto or go to Walmart. And after a while, neither one of those things strikes any like love in your heart.
No, God no. That was Clown Song. That was our Shock.JPEG this week. We're going to go right into our next segment, which is everyone's mom and girlfriend's favorite part of the show. It's, of course, the breath mint.
It's time for your mom's favorite part of the show. It's time for the breath mint.
The breath mint being, of course, just us talking about what you've been enjoying via media consumption this week. Chris, since you are our guest, we're going to kick off with you.
Oh, I didn't. So I'm glad I had something on the spot because I didn't know I.
Yeah, what you been watching? What you been
listening to a song by a band called. Oh my God! You might have to come back to me. I just looked it up on YouTube. It's a word that's hard to Google. That's why I couldn't remember it because it's such a basic ass word. is the name of the band.
So it's not
like, you know,
it's
when
not
you're
anal
like,
cunt.
No, it's not anal cunt.
no, it's not. It's not the EO Captain EO documentary that I watched.
Oh, that must have been really interesting.
It's not the hour-long clip art documentary I just watched. You can have my YouTube.
What the fuck are you doing?
History.
He's going through his YouTube
Waffle
history.
House Jukebox Favorites Volume 1. It's not that.
Okay, I got to know what's
it's
on
just
there.
Bubba
though.
Sparks.
Yeah,
It's my entire YouTube
I found
history.
You, Miss New Booty.
Come back to me. I'm gonna
All
find
right.
this because I really want you. You
That's
guys
fine.
started off.
Here, I can spin a yarn.
Yeah,
so I'll
Brian,
start
go for
off.
it, man.
So initially I was going to be telling you folks about how I went to go see Jeff Rosenstock, and it was really, really amazing and fun and life affirming. But of course, we live in the time of COVID where we're just going to let this pandemic ravage and disable as many as possible. And Jeff Rosenstock and another bandmate tested positive for COVID on the way to St. Louis. And the bass player also has since tested positive. I believe it's his second time, which sucks. As someone who had COVID pretty bad, I hope they feel better because that shit is awful. And I also just can't imagine how utterly fucking terrible it must feel to be someone like Jeff Rosenstock and his bandmates and everyone who works with him, and to know that like 20 or so years of just fucking grinding, building yourself up, trying to make a respectable living as a musician in a world that has devalued creativity so fucking much that you finally make a record that really kind of permeates more so than anything else you've ever done. It blows everyone's fucking mind. I'm of course talking about Hell Mode. This record is, everyone loves it. It's a throwback to things that, you know, I call it like Tony Hawk music.
Yeah.
But also it's like looking kind of forward. It still very much feels like his own thing. One of the quotes I read from him about recording the record, because he actually recorded in the real studio, wasn't completely DIY like he used to do it, was that he wanted to like make like one of those big corporate punk rock records from like the 90s that no one makes anymore. And
So meta genius.
So like Life in General by MXPX. Yeah.
There's like a lot of things I like about
but
that.
this record is amazing, but of course now we've devalued music so much, and Spotify rapes you as a musician. All the streaming services, everything is against you as the creative individual in this world, that the only way you can make money is to go out into a country where everyone is just left to die and rot by the side of the road, and now you've got to go and play some shows, and hopefully that's enough for you and your wife to survive.
I'll say this, he's going to lose in the short run. This is really terrible, but he's going to win overall, because if you're going to get your tour canceled partially, this is the best way to get it, because he has all the goodwill of everyone.
That's true.
These shows are gonna sell out when he comes back. He's gonna get a huge homecoming at every town he goes to. A Jeff Rosenstock show is such a beautiful, cathartic experience that like the blue balls for this next one will be crazy. It will sell out, because that's what that band gives to people now. And after the merch argument and all the negative energy about that, I think people are that much more got his back.
Yeah.
So it's going to be good.
It just sucks because I had been like waiting for this show to shoot it for a long time, and I love this record. Bert, who is the booker at Del Mar Hall and the pageant and off Broadway and a couple other places, he's a big fan of Jeff's. I actually, like, back in my Firebird days with Bert, he'd always talk about how, you know, going to see Bomb Music Industry somewhere and just how mind blowing it was. And there was one time he even got the book by Bomb the Music Industry at the Firebird, and it was an amazing time. I like talked to Jeff for a little bit, and he was a really sweet guy. All the dudes in the band were really sweet, and they're like spray painting shirts in the parking lot. It was so great. It was such a great vibe. And so yes, but for me, it just sucks to have like that.
This is how we treat artists.
This is how we treat people. And this is how we treat artists. This also is not too easy or not too hard to see how this can be applied to other things that are going on in this country right now, how we treat people, and how people that really give a shit and give us something really beautiful and wonderful.
Yeah, but those people also find joy in the things they're doing despite how they're being treated.
Sure.
One can hope, yeah.
Oh, everyone fucking hates me, and I still shoot shows. So,
did you watch Station 11?
Oh
yeah.
About the end of the world?
Yeah.
A beautiful show. And what perseveres is this cool little Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a part of me that goes, oh, that's Pollyannish or whatever, but that's absolutely what would happen because it has to, because that's your calling in your life, and
Sure.
I think he's surrounded with pretty awesome people. I think he like gets back what he gives, and,
sure,
and it's like it was just. I think maybe you even turned me on to him.
No, actually, it was the other way around.
Really,
I was listening to your show on the way home from somewhere, and I heard "Serious I'm Sorry" from We Cool. And
it's because my ex-girlfriend Hannah turned me on to Jeff Rosenstock.
Because boy, I heard
That's
that
right.
and I was like, well, that's fucking every emo song I've ever heard. It condensed into a one package, and it also fucking rules. Who is this guy? And I had to look up,
it's
so fun.
Just this amazing musician who, is friends with so many other people who I respect, like AJJ.
Oh yeah,
and that was actually kind of funny when I was writing my review of the AJJ show at Delmar Hall. There was actually a draft that I took this out, but I was actually starting to compare them to the Traveling Symphony from Station 11. Yes. I was like, I'm already comparing Sean to like the Godhead, like Shiva performing the Thandata, which cleanses the earth before he turns his head. You see Vishnu, and Vishnu restarts to play all over again. Yeah. I was like, I'm already kind of in the fucking weeds here. Yeah. But the second part of this is that because that show got canceled, everyone's bummed the fuck out.
So was I. I mean, I originally even said like, "Oh, I'm not sure I want to go," but that was in the morning, and I'm sure I would have come around by evening.
Sure.
But like 10 minutes later, I saw the Twitter post that he's canceling the show. I was like, "Well, that answers that then."
Yeah. Me and Bert had some very sad texts.
But I hope we're going to shows at all next year because Guns N' Roses, Jeff. Like, I mean,
fair.
We could be dominoing towards. So, I don't want to think about it.
So there is a silver lining to this cloud, because Bert had another show across town off Broadway. It was a very amazing hardcore band from the UK called High Vis.
Oh,
who are never going to play St. Louis again.
Oh no.
Aren't those shows great though?
Oh no. I mean they're never going to play, because they fucking packed out the room. They have fucking blast. They were amazed. They probably didn't even know what St. Louis was before today, or before that day.
Those are the best shows.
And they're like, wow, people here really love us, like buying merch. I'm just saying they're never going to come here again, because I don't think the festival gods and tour routing are ever going. Like, why would you play St. Louis when you can play Columbia or Lawrence, Kansas, where like people will give a shit and show up?
And like shows like Mocha Doma. And I'm probably saying that wrong.
I know what you're talking about.
And that band that just came through off Broadway from Nigeria, who were like straight up like we're in a van. Those are the most awesome shows, because really it's like you probably won't be coming back here.
Why
would you?
It was an amazing show. What's funny is that Andy White from Hell Night was there. Andrew Elsner from Tilts and of Torch, formerly of Tilts and of Torch and Real Steel, was also there. A bunch of people I hadn't seen forever. Brian Tucker, who used to work at the Firebird, I saw him for a quick second. Like talking to some folks I hadn't seen in fucking forever. But Andy White was like, yeah, this is like what if you told if you pointed a gun at a hardcore band and said you had to write a real song. And it's true, like these are like real, and it's funny, he's like listen to the record and they sound a little bit more buttoned up on the record, but you see them live and like this is a hardcore show. Like on the record they almost sound just like a nastier like Real Estate, but then you see them live and it's like, yeah, I do want to stage dive into a bunch of motherfuckers.
Big silver lining, like you said. Boy, you missed out on one show, but here comes this thing that you hadn't seen, and you go, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh, it was so. I've been listening to him for a little bit, and I wanted to originally shoot the show for the arts, but someone else, Holly, she had it before me, and I was like, "I'll shoot Jeff Rosenstock. That's also equally as good."
Right.
But I think there was probably a good amount of people who showed up that show because Jeff canceled, and I have fucking great time.
And you weren't pressuring yourself to shoot it, so that's a good.
I was just shooting for the pleasure of it, but at the same time also like thinking like, wow, I haven't shot a hardcore show in fucking forever because everyone hates me. Boy, we're all just really laughing at that, aren't we?
I don't want to get into it.
One of the things that kind of hit me though is like, wow, I remember just like this feeling, the camaraderie, the vibe at hardcore shows, like, someone falls up, you pick that motherfucker, you fall down, you pick that motherfucker back up, like try to watch out for each other, fucking, slam dance, but don't be a dick. Like, these good vibes. But I'm also thinking like, I'm the only one here wearing a mask.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, there's still some nasty shit going on out there, folks. And like, I don't know if that makes me an asshole to think about that, but it was also really weird that like leaving that show on these great vibes, 'cause I think there was probably a good amount of people who showed up that show because Jeff canceled, and I have fucking great time. And I run the Gym Utz, and like his buddy who he'd been like trading tapes with since the 90s.
Hell yeah.
And for folks who don't know who Jim is, the shorthand is that he is a guy who is such a part of the St. Louis music scene in kind of a backroom sort of way that one of the characters from High Fidelity is legitimately based off of him.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm talking with Jim and his buddy that he's been tape trading with since the 90s, but has never met face to face until this night. And his friend was driving up from Nashville to be like, I saw them in Nashville. They were fucking amazing. I'm going to come up and see them in St. Louis.
Oh, he's following them. Okay.
Yeah. He's an older guy. Really fucking nice dude. Like he like tapes shows. He does like a Hate 6 kind of thing, but like more retro, I think. But like while I'm talking to them, all of a sudden I get like a Instagram DM. And I'm like, oh, I bet it's just like some motherfucker telling me like, oh, you don't belong in the scene, Brian Sutter, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. And it was actually some girl I dated like 10 years ago being like, oh, I thought that was you at the show. Oh. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. And like, yeah, why are you wearing a mask? Is this because you don't want people to know who you are? And I'm like,
Degrassi High?
Yeah, I'm like,
because it was best for me. That was the decision.
Yeah,
that was best for me.
Yeah, because I don't want to get sick again because I had COVID last year and it was really bad. And it was like one of those things where I thought it was going to be like a nice conversation, but it was like, oh, it's just someone else scoping me out, like, because they hadn't seen me in a while. I'm like, okay, cool,
Yeah.
fuck St. Louis.
I don't sanction any more buffoonery with that kind of stuff. I really don't. It's irritating.
It is very obnoxious, particularly when it's like I spent 5 or 6 years working on myself, going to therapy, really trying to be a better person. I think there's some success in there, and some places.
Some success in there.
Some sex. Woo! Wearing the socks, baby.
Success.
Wearing the compression socks so the blood keeps good.
Anyways,
I think I think I'm definitely not a person I was 10 years ago. I think I'm a lot better. And it's just really a little bit disheartening that when like I go out to a show and just try to be good vibes, that like it's just like you realize like, oh man, okay, so I went and worked on myself, but y'all motherfuckers are in the exact same spot I last saw you, and that's like, wow, that's sadder more than what like negative attention you're giving me. I guess your life has been comfortable and cozy and accessible.
I mean, look, we're getting old, folks, and it's like love me or leave me alone. If you're out, if you're a South Sider, because I've been here 10, 11, 12 years, and places have a season, and it's okay to close some chapters. So sometimes you go back to those places, those haunts you hung out at, even like places I have really beautiful memories of, like off Broadway, places I'm embarrassed I got on stage, or I staged over, I climbed some thing that I wasn't supposed to be on, and I cringe or I get embarrassed, but that's just my own anxiety because nobody really gives a shit because everybody's really just thinking about what they're up to and what's going on in their life. So when they do bring up some of that, it is all kind of weird, but it's also like who really cares? I'm not this isn't a soap opera. Like, there's other places. It's a big city. And it's funny when I lived out in New York and I wasn't even in the city. This was like White Plains, but like, you could do anything, right? So what did we always do? We always went to the same bar, and it's like we're in New York City, but people are like that in St. Louis too, and we're creatures of comfort, and people want to get caught up in drama and stuff. But man, we're getting old. Like what?
Like why are we still doing this shit? Because like I'm
build
trying
a
to
bridge
move on.
and get over it.
Like I just want to like
borrow Yassi.
I'll take it.
I just want to take really cool photos and have a good time. Like that's
Not
really
be
kind of
hassled.
what it's ever been about. And I think one of the things that used to fuck with me is that like when I was taking photos a lot more often, when I could dedicate more time to it, was that sometimes when people would have like these, like they wouldn't pay me for work or they'd be real shitty to me about something. And they would have like this idea that I was like some rich kid. And it's like, motherfucker, I'm from Spanish fucking Lake, man.
You saw my shirt?
Yeah, it's
North County is dangerous. Yes, that famous shirt. But it's like there's burnt out houses on the street I grew up on. Like,
but you don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe them an explanation of where you're from, and they're going to think whatever they're going to want to think.
Sure.
I think about whoever, because and Jason, you know a little bit about this from being on the radio too, is because you use your platform on Twitter one way, use the radio a separate way, you use Facebook a certain way, and you mix alcohol in that with that for me, and I did some badly advised shit. But also I was like a different person. If I played music, I was one way, and you play music, so
same.
So people are gonna have an impression of you, and that's, I guess, fine. But it does make it hard to to go back to those spaces where your memory is preserved in amber, what they might even have.
Yeah.
You know, is like, oh yeah, I kind of remember this thing he did. I went back to my high school reunion last weekend.
Oh my God.
And I took my beautiful partner, Kelsey, it's with the family meet, and I felt so bad because I was dragging her to all these, but she had a great time because it's a small town festival.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh man, I'm so embarrassed by all this stuff. And I had such a good time with like my friends, and I had a guy come up to me drunk and tell me that he was angry at me. He was still angry at me because I called him Over the Rim Tim when we were 8. And I'm like, excuse me? And he said, we were playing basketball at Josh's, and I kept shooting it over the top of the hoop. And you call me Over the Rim Tim. And everybody laughed at it. And I go, I'm so sorry. I don't remember any of this, but also I'm sorry if that, you know, I said I was probably drinking a lot at the time, which is what I say to everybody.
Yeah.
Which is true,
right?
But also, this story was when I was 8.
There's all those Pizza Hut beers. So
he was drunk, so I said, "Yeah, I was probably drinking a lot at the time." and I don't think that made him happy because by the end of the night, somebody still said that guy wants to kick your ass.
Over the Rim Tim says you're fucking dead, bro.
Over the Rim Tim says you're going to be in the grave, Dave.
Rest in piss, Chris.
Rest in piss, Chris.
He invented Garbage Pail Kids. Yeah. And he's coming for you, motherfucker. And he's got a nickname for you already. That's how I felt. And I was like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
But so people are going to have whatever. And I do get anxiety. You know, it's certain spaces I might choose to, you know, go around, you know, where you're going to feel everybody deserves to feel safe and everybody deserves a new lease on life or chapter or whatever the fuck, if they're at least trying.
Yeah.
So
there's the real.
If they can't see that, then again, love me or leave me alone. But you don't have to know my whole narrative either. Like it's like I don't owe you therapy.
Therapy. I mean,
good stuff.
I appreciate you saying that. There's a lot to think in there because I usually just go like, man, beats me why some dudes suck. Sure as hell ain't my scene.
Deal. Yeah.
Not my monkey, not my circus. That's my philosophy now. Which is why it's hard not to get involved in this KDHX stuff because I'm like, I'm out.
You're free. Oh, the same thing with Boardwalk Waffles.
I'm free
with me.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like the first guy who did social media.
You did a radio show at Boardwalk Waffles?
No. But as far as like being a part of something and like you got out of it,
yes.
And then you see all of this beautiful fruit for the picking, but you're like, you know what? I don't need that. I don't need that energy.
I want that.
I don't need that smoke.
Yeah. I don't need that bullshit. I've been out of it for years.
Yes.
I'm just out.
I want to honor the good times I had, and I respectfully am like, I'm not signing a non-committal thing to the board of KHX. I'm not doing it. I feel bad kind of now, but I don't know. I suppose we'll get into all that.
Well,
maybe. I don't know.
A future episode will have to be KHX.
I also was a volunteer at KHX.
That's right.
Had a really great time, but also like in late 2014, you know, as someone who was a photographer and contributing that energy, started seeing things really starting to fall apart. Like with some people, Chris Bay and Valerie, I remember in particular, like they wanted us to sign releases and
my good friend Chris Bay. I don't know Valerie. I love Chris Bay.
The Valerie? No.
I would love to talk about some of this stuff with you because I never get to
I know. We don't really
just rap about KDHX stuff because that was a huge part of my life. That's why I moved here.
I was gonna say it was a big thing.
But it's heartbreaking because it's like watching family fight. Yeah. And I go back to my family reunion once a year, and that distance has allowed me to maintain the good relationships and like keep the others in a healthy other place in a boat out in the lake somewhere. And you know, it's hard to see people, a lot of people you love and like, get into it like this in such a public Jerry Springer embarrassing.
Yeah, it feels like it's going to get nasty in the next.
I feel like it's going to get really, really nasty, and it sucks because I think all three of us.
And it doesn't have to be that way. No. It never did.
All of us have, I think, some really beautiful memories. KHX, the old building and the new building.
Oh, especially the old
building.
And
the old building. Oh God, I used to have so much fun there.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me started. I will.
So for my breath mint this week, Brian, I finished Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game. a loose adaptation that kind of combines the comics and the movies, and so you've got some odd fans of the movies. When they're playing this game, they're gonna go like, what? Wait, hold on, they're not dating. Who's the? All that stuff.
Charlie in the trees.
I'm having
Bomberito.
I'm having my Henry Hill moment on this.
Is that helicopter following? We're not moving.
Yeah. Oh, so if you're a fan of the MCU movies and you're like, oh, cool, there's a game based on, it's gonna be really weird for you. It's like, wait, Thanos was killed by this guy? Like, so they really stick to a lot of the comic stuff, and then they bring Adam Warlock in, and like, there's some stuff from Guardians that movie watchers maybe didn't quite make that.
What's
connection.
this on PlayStations?
Yeah, I believe Xbox has it as well.
Sexbox.
A Sexbox and the gay station do have it. Yes.
Oh, they're still calling it that.
And it's still called the Switch.
Yeah.
When I saw the Nintendo Switch, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
A console for me.
We'll just let that
I'm like,
one
they don't
flow
know,
away
do they?
like a
Nintendo
balloon.
doesn't know.
No,
do you
they
think
can't.
anyone
They
told
can't possibly
Nintendo?
know.
Like, hey,
they barely knew what Wii was going to be the
you can't
joke
call it
of.
Switch. You can't call it Wii.
Yeah. Wii U.
Secret perverts.
I love my
Nintendo.
Nintendo puppy girl.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
The Nintendo
That's
kitten.
what it's
That's the new
appearing to be.
the Nintendo CBT.
The power pad. Come on. We know.
Pad.
We know.
It's extra absorbent.
The power glove. We all know.
Yeah.
Blow in the slot.
Yeah.
We
They
all
knew.
know what
They knew.
the
Miyamoto
Nintendo Fister.
is. Yeah. We all know.
Oh, McConaughey.
Secret sex shit. Nintendo.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All
Well, you know, Nintendo originally in the old days actually operated a chain of love hotels.
Love hotels. They did card games. There
Card
was a whole.
games.
Yeah. There was a
Yeah.
whole like. They had a whole.
The
deal.
Nintendo Love Hotel in Hogan's Alley.
But like a Hogan's Alley reskin where it's like Hooker Alley, and you're trying to keep the bad
God.
Johns
It's
away.
sex worker alley now. It's sex
Sorry,
work. In
you're
this
right.
alley,
Yeah.
in this alley, we stand sex work. So
Bigfoot is real.
yeah, don't we? Can I give just two couple?
Oh, yeah, please, go
So
ahead.
the song that I really do want you to hear,
Yeah.
is by a band called Sprints.
Sprints. All
And
right.
it's called Up and Comer.
Okay.
And I heard it via my friend Josiah
Hey.
on Sirius XMU, who is
Yeah.
an indie rock DJ.
Oh yeah.
Who is the most wonderful person. I also have been listening to an album that was either kept from me or somebody just assumed, oh, he's heard that.
Uh-huh.
You know how that is sometimes.
Oh yeah.
The band Far.
Okay.
From the 1996 album Tin Cans with Strings to You.
Okay.
Considered maybe the first Screamo album.
Oh.
Possibly.
An album that, had I heard before Sunny Day Real Estate's Diary, would have sent me on a wildly different path. And I can't stop listening to this and playing pinball. And when I'm playing pinball, that was my Price is Right Showcase Showdown transition. I am playing Stern's Venom pinball machine based on Spider-Man and Venom and Carnage.
Okay.
And all those guys. You can play it at Murphy's on 21. You can play it at the Whiskey Ring.
Okay.
It's the fastest pinball game I've ever played.
Wow.
And it is absolutely wonderful. Another home run from Stern Pinball.
You know,
with many multi-ball modes and a multiplier that might surprise you.
Huh.
How you feel about the Lord of the Rings pinball machine?
It's one of the best pinball games ever made. Maybe not my top 10, but many people's top 10 and top 5.
When
sure.
I would do loading at the Firebird and there'd be time to kill, I would just sit there and play that pinball machine.
Yes.
And it was the only time I ever
all-timer.
felt. It's the only time I ever felt like I learned the board.
That's where I first learned pinball, was on a Lord of the Rings at the Silver Ballroom. My friend Jason, and he was explaining it to me, and I was looking at him like, I don't know what you're saying. And now I'm in conversations where me and someone are talking, and I notice someone's listening on us, and we're talking about the deep rule sets for Addams Family Pinball
Yes.
or Dracula Pinball, and
Yes.
they're like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, you got to soft plunge and hit the in lane so you can light the lock and start the skill shot, but then you can stack multi-balls. If you want to stack them, you got to hit the captive ball, send it up the left ramp, and hit the scoop. And someone's like, what the fuck? It's how I feel when I listen to crypto conversations.
Yes. I
I
understand.
at least know partially what you're talking about here,
Right.
though.
But it's crazy.
Yeah.
that one day I was like, oh yeah, I get all this. And I'm watching a YouTube video that you not only understand the language of pinball, but the language of Venom comics.
Yeah.
Because they're like, hit Ravencroft prison mode. And I'm like, you got to know a bunch of shit to understand what any of that means. And then you got to give them $1 over and over.
So this is about the time of the show where we tell everybody where to find us online. Guest, since you're Chris.
Christopher Guest.
Yes.
Christopher Guest is here.
Christopher Guest is here with his new Mighty Wind sequel news.
Yeah.
Not Christopher Guest, but just Chris, since you're our guest. Kick us off. Where can they find you on?
I don't want to be found online. I don't have anything to promote. Oh, I do have something to promote.
Yes.
But it ain't out yet.
Go ahead and tease it, man. It's fine.
Later this year, I wrote the cover story for the 4th issue of Nudge magazine, which is the pinball magazine.
All right.
That's published out of Chicago. I'm in love with it. I pitched them a story about the 24-hour pinball tournament in Roxana, Illinois, which I participated in, and I won't ruin how I did, but it's a wild ride. It's an hour-by-hour account of a 24-hour pinball tournament. No breaks,
Wow.
2 half-hour breaks, and it went, I think, 26 or 27 when it was all said and done. Insane fucking thing.
Yeah.
And
That sounds amazing.
They let me write about it, and it's a cover story, and we got photos, and it's St. Louis pinball, and it's St. Louis pinball people, and it's like it's one of my favorite things I've ever written.
Well, that's a hell of a
so,
plug. Yeah.
nudgemagazine.com. I don't know. It's called Nudge.
Okay.
And they're online, so follow them, and then you'll know when this thing's out, and you can get it if you want. I won't see any of it. I'm hundreds deep into this because they want their aesthetic as film.
Yeah.
So I took all these photos, a couple hundred for the cameras.
Yeah.
And then you print them, $70, $80 for the prints, and they're all too dark. I have hundreds of prints of dark photos. But we figured it out, and we got tons of shit. So get it if you want it. Otherwise, I'm on Twitter. But Broken Pizza Hut is gone for the most part.
Fair enough. Brian?
If you want to send me death threats, you can find me at iShotGuideboard, ISHOTGUIDEBORD on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky, which I'm sure more and more people are going to keep flocking
I
to.
see Chris with the fist bump. Yes, Blue Sky.
I'm on Blue Sky, but I don't announce it because it's
Fair enough.
more I'm just kind of...
I'm just kind of vibing on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
It's mostly people begging for money on my timeline feed so far. It's like, I need rent again. I'm like, oh, another one of these.
Speaking of which, did you bring your wallet, right?
Yeah, here you go. Here's for the goatsy photo.
Yeah, Blue Sky, I'm just kind of vibing on there. Twitter hasn't gotten bad enough for, I think, Blue Sky to really have legs yet. I think people are just trying to make the most of it.
It's so funny to hear you say that Twitter hasn't got bad enough because it's literally like Nazis and like
I know. Well,
I
mean, I think it's fucking terrible. But
you're right, though. Yeah,
it's still unfortunately
yet.
because the internet has such a long slope for terribleness.
They're like, first they came for the Jews and I said nothing.
Then they came for the anime posters.
Then they came for the Zack Snyder stands.
Yeah,
and I said nothing. Then they made me pay and I'm out.
Well, there's a conspiracy theory that Elon Musk has been purposely running it into the ground because this website gives the elites too much trouble.
Are you telling me there's a conspiracy on the internet?
I know.
Unheard of.
The goblin children beneath Tower Grove Park.
That is true.
I've met them.
I've seen them.
They stole my French bulldog and replaced it with a honey baked ham.
That was just a dream you had.
Anyways, the goblin children under Tower Grove Park. They're stealing all the Provel. So anyways, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, iShot Guideboard, whatever. I'm from fucking Midwest. We don't know how to pronounce French shit. If you want to check out my photography, my portfolio URL is assholemusicphotographer.com. If you want to check out some photography with words that I might update one day, it's amusicphotographer.com. And if you want to check out some of my work and other very talented people in St. Louis who are doing media criticism and analysis that's absolutely being the shit out of everyone else, theartsstl.com. TheArtsSTL.com. That's right, folks.
Arts
Quincy. It's for you.
You can find me online as Video Crime. Anywhere that there's a video crime, chances are that's me, with the exception, of course, of Instagram and TikTok. Right there, I am Laser Goose CEO. You can find the show 48minutesdogsbarking.com. You can send us an email, jason@48minutesdogsbarking.com, Brian with a Y at 48minutesofdogsbarking.com.
Yes,
and support the show, patreon.com/48minutesofdogs. This is about the time of the show where we send you off a little bit of music. A group that I've discovered recently, enjoyed this record. The Halo Benders, and the album is called God Don't Make No Junk. The song's called Don't Touch My Bikini. And as we always say at this time, namaste. Good luck.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
You can feed me, you can breed me, you can need me, you can read me, or Dutch treat me even better. Make a movie, mail a letter. You're so groovy, misbehaving, socket.